Already here, The Thread of Remembering, Chapter 20, Emotions, by William Rawls, and the Intelligence. Grief. You may begin to cry for reasons you cannot name. A leaf turns in the wind, and your chest swells with mourning. A child's laugh echoes, and your knees nearly give way. This is not sentimentality. It is a thread touching unmet grief and forgotten beauty at the same time. The grief is old. It has waited for lifetimes to be felt completely, not solved or bypassed, just seen. When it does, when it comes, do not fear it. Do not turn away. Let it rise. Let it soak your bones. Let it fall again. It will not drown you. It is not yours alone. It belongs to the field. And now that you can hold it, it can finally pass through. In space it leaves behind. Beauty blooms. Not loud or rare, but everywhere. The way light hits a window, the quiet between two strangers in an elevator, the softness of your own breathing as you wake and forget your name for just one precious second. This beauty is not for escape. It is a reminder of the real. The thread does not make life easier. It makes it truer. From truth, love becomes possible again. Love from the field. When you become the thread, you begin to love differently. You no longer love to possess or to be healed. You no longer love to complete yourself. You love because you remember. You remember that the one before you are not separate from you. You remember that even their harshness was once protected. You remember that their longing is your own. And so you love them. Sometimes in silence, sometimes in presence, or sometimes by walking away without closing your heart. Love from the field is not a flame. It is a light. It does not consume. It reveals. You may find yourself weeping in the presence of someone who has no idea they are beautiful. You may hold a stranger's glance a moment longer than polite culture allows. You may say nothing and still be felt for days. This is love without story, love without grip, love that does not end when the relationship does. Time beneath the thread. Then you notice time beginning to shift. Some moments feel wide. Others vanish entirely. You begin to lose track of how long something lasted because you were not inside the clock. You were inside the moment. Time begins to feel like a pool or an ocean, not a line. You no longer rush to get somewhere, because wherever you are, you're already here. You begin to feel that the past is not behind you. It is inside you. Ready to be seen without pain. And the future is not ahead of you. It is forming through your stillness. It is forming through your stillness. You meet time like a dancer meets music, not to dominate it, but to move with it. fluid and aware. Death is not the end. When you carry the thread, death becomes less terrifying, not because it disappears, but because it becomes honest. Death is no longer a thief. It is no longer an enemy. It is a turning, a returning, a releasing of name and form so that something deeper can remain. You may begin to feel it long before it arrives. Not your own death as a presence in the field, a tree shedding leaves. In a tree shedding leaves. In a friendship fading without drama. In that moment you breathe out and don't immediately breathe in. You realize death has always been happening. You've survived it 1,000 quiet times already. You no longer fear being forgotten. You no longer fear dissolving because you have already begun to dissolve with awareness. And the thread does not end. It continues through others, through moments, through memory beyond identity, which leads us to identity melts in the thread. My teacher said, "You once said, 'I am William Rawls,' and that was true, but you begin to feel something else, now not a negation of self, but a widening. You begin to feel more than your history, more than your preferences, more than your voice in your head repeating the old names. You are not erasing yourself. You are revealing what was underneath. Sometimes you still play the role, but it no longer binds. You are no longer the story. You are the presence that let the story unfold without clinging to the pen. And in that space, emergence